Warning: the Atari Creep YouTube channel is intended for a mature audience. Regardless of the subject matter, this video may contain strong language, simulated violence, and lots of psychological nudity. Viewer discretion is advised. What's up, Creepers and Geekers? Chris the Atari Creep. How is everyone doing on this glorious game day? Sunday. Patriots Sunday. They haven't really been doing too well this year. But I just got to be happy that they're actually playing. You know, hopefully it doesn't affect them on a health standpoint. It very well could. I mean, our new quarterback was out because of COVID. But regardless, we are here to talk about an article that my buddy ColecoJoe sent to me. And again, I would not have seen this if he hadn't sent it to me. I don't keep my ear to the ground as I should. But regardless, this is someone named Janny. I'm going to assume it's pronounced that. You can correct me in any way, shape, or form. They posted this 2 days ago on whatever website, his own personal website here. Unboxing his Atari VCS dev kit. So let's have a look at it. And as always, the link to this article will be down below for you to peruse on your own leisure. I'm just going to skim over it, talk about the few things that I want to talk about. You read the entire article before you make any decisions as to what you want to believe, feel, or whatever the fuck. So huge thanks to my buddy ColecoJoe for keeping my ear to the ground through him. So we got this guy, Janny, talking about he got his Atari VCS dev kit and he's creating a game called Gun Tech, which apparently he programmed for Atari ST 30 some odd years ago. And I'm not familiar with them. I unfortunately don't have a lot of background or experience with Atari 8-bit or mainly any 8-bit computer from the era. I mean, unless a buddy of mine had a Commodore or something, I didn't get to play any of that shit. I didn't have the money for a computer. What am I going to do with a computer, you know? I'm lucky I had the Atari and the NES. But the individual goes on to say, for those who have been waiting for their Atari VCS consoles, the day is near. Yay! Just received my dev kit, and with permissions from Atari, I am sharing a few photos, and that's what I'm more excited about, seeing the photos. I know there are people out there who don't believe the VCS is real, and I do want to address that. I'm not one of those guys. I don't think it's a scam. I think it's something that started with good intentions. I think they blew their load a little too soon. And then they were scrambling to get something put together. I believe people are going to get something who have already paid for it. Where it goes from there, I can't speculate either way. I always thought it was going to be something. I just wasn't sure if it was going to be anything anybody expected and or wanted, or if the people who paid the exuberant amount of money for this thing are going to be happy with it. And it sounds like there's a good handful of people that are super excited to get into this thing and create whatever it is they want to create with the machine, which sounds fun to me, but it's way above my fucking pay grade. So that's probably why I'm not as excited, with the exception of the Atari logo and that sexy shell. So let me assure you, we're continuing on here. It's very much real. There's one sitting on my desk right next to me as I write this post. It's an article, but okay. Well, maybe it's his website. Don't correct me. So there it is in all its glory. It looks like it's on top of its own box, which is pretty rad. There is a picture of that, and we will look at that here momentarily. So here's where he goes on to talk about my game, Gun Tech, is one of the first titles to be available for the Atari VCS when it launches. Now, I do have a problem with this. Actually, there's two problems I'd like to speak on regarding the image that we're looking at right now. Okay? He just got this on Friday, or at least he's just posting about opening it up on Friday. How the fuck is he going to have time to finish that game by November, when backers should be starting to get these in their hands? Now, he does go on to say something about that Unity that we talked about before, which is basically a program that can convert things to work on anything, I guess. I don't know. You tell me down below. I remember we had a big discussion about it. Someone told me about it, and I was like, cool. I understand now. So maybe he's been developing this for a long time. Then he's going to run it through that program so it could work natively on this hardware. Or maybe it's just going to be another one of those titles where you pretty much could play it anywhere. But they're going to say it's an Atari game. I don't know. Unfortunately, I'm not very abreast of the situation when it comes to a lot of technical stuff. So he goes on to say, in the VCS launches, let's see, I'll post photos and videos of it as soon as I have it up and running. In the meanwhile, here's what's inside the box. Leading me to my second issue with this post, and this is a petty one. I will admit it. I don't understand why dev kits came out in the limited edition wood grain one. I think backers should have got those first, and dev kits should have just been plain Jane, whatever, with the extras that it may or may not need. I don't know. That's just me. Moving on. Here's a sexy picture of the box. He does go on to say that the box is going to change retail-wise. This is not the actual box. It says right here, I'm told this is not the final retail box. I think it looks cool. I think it looks fine. Gets the job done. Here's the back of the box. An icon reimagined. And the back, it shows Atari Vault. And it shows Tempest, I'm assuming that is. I can barely see it. Missile Command, Sandbox Mode. There's, what do you call it there? The Roller Coaster Tycoon. Centipede. In the box, the bottom row here is just promotional stuff. And I'm going to assume that this is going to change as well for the actual retail box. I would hope so anyway. This really isn't... The back of this box looks nice, but it's not getting me excited for anything. And mainly because we've been looking at these images for 3 fucking years now, almost, you know? Let's see. The box is large, but the unit is quite small, much like the Atari Creep. I'm Irish. I'm a large dude, but the unit's kind of small. As everyone probably knows by now, there are 2 controllers included. I have problems with that as well. If you purchase this package, you will get 2 controllers included. So maybe he should have worded that a little bit differently. My dev kit came with 2 controllers, because there are plenty that were sold that aren't coming with controllers, which is obnoxious, but it is what it is. I figure with the exuberant amount of money people were paying for this thing, it should have just came with fucking controllers. At least one. At least one. But that's an argument from a few days ago. A modern one looks pretty basic, and the classic one, which I am mostly excited about, and he goes on to talk about the game itself. Gun Tech is an arcade-style shooter based on a game I made almost 30 years ago for the Atari ST. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that already. Back in the day, this was the type of controller everyone used. And he says it's based off of a game. If there is a game called Gun Tech for the Atari 8-bit, I'm going to look it up and check it out. Again, I don't have a lot of experience with 8-bit computers from back then. I'd be interested to see what this game is based off of. I wish there was an actual title there. Or if it was called Gun Tech, we'll find out here in a little bit. At least I will, off camera. You know. But if you know offhand what he's talking about, leave it down below. Help me out a little bit. So that's pretty cool. The individual's been around for a while, and he's got some history with Atari already, so that's pretty cool. Kind of sounds like a little bit of somewhere else. Reimagined older games, people coming back that were involved in the beginning. What a concept. What a concept. Here's more pictures of it. Something about the wood grain is bothering me. It doesn't look like it was cut well. I mean, going back to this picture here, something just seems very rough about it. I don't know. Again, nitpicking. I'm not looking for things to pick on. I can only just relate how I feel about things. The Atari VCS unit is beautiful. I booted it up, created an account, and played some built-in arcade games. Downloaded 1 game from the marketplace. Whoa. I don't believe I remember reading that before. I'm curious as to what game and what marketplace. Everything works smoothly so far. Next up, I'll be booting it up. Completing Gun Tech for Unity. Yeah, see? So he's probably been working on this for a while on his own equipment. And then he's going to have to run it through Unity or something like that. Pass it over to the Atari folk for approval. I don't know how that process works, but there you go. Let's see. What else are we going to do? I'm developing the game near final without final hardware. I'm hoping it will just work. That's great. That's great. Finally, here's a photo of the VCS booted up. I wasn't going to post anything until I have Gun Tech running on it. But since quite a few people on the Reddit suggested that it's fake and blah, 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 here you go. All right. So, there you go. One of the developers sharing their experience with the new Atari VCS. In that case, it looks like an 800. I'd be curious to know what you think with this recent development. My final thoughts? Cool. Cool. I'm glad to see that they're in some people's hands. I've always stood fast on the whole. I wish the people who paid for it were going to get these maybe sooner. And if the development thing is something that could just hold off, I mean, I don't know. This thing's a mystery to me altogether. I don't know how it's supposed to work as far as development, how it's supposed to work as far as the end user. I just know it's a PC. It's a little mini computer, and you got to give it its identity. That's it. So, guys, like I said, let me know down in the comments what you think. Go ahead and leave your feedback. Thumbs up, thumbs down. All feedback to the Creep is positive. Does this give you any more concerns? Does this feed the need to know more? I don't know. I think it's cool. It is what it is. So, guys, I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a great weekend. And, until next time, take care. Creep it real. And bye-bye.